guys. Yeah, today I want to be talking about how to stop comparing yourself to other people. This video is probably going to be a longer one because I actually think it's like something that a lot of people struggle with. So yeah, if you want to grab like a tea or a coffee, or depending what time of day this is, maybe a cheeky glass of wine, get comfortable and yeah, let's have a chat. So how to stop comparing yourself to other people? I just want to go right back with something because I think it needs to go back in order for this conversation to develop. So if your body went out for brunch with a friend, but you're talking, you're laughing, you're smiling, your expressions, everything wasn't there, that other person isn't going to have a great time with your body just there. Like, this is it. Like, you are life. Like I said, there's so much more to you than your body. I think it's important for us to remember this because it really highlights that we are so much more than just our outer shell, our physical body. We are life, we are consciousness, we are energy. When we come to comparing ourselves to other people, it quite often is external things that we compare ourselves to. So it could be physical image, it could be status, it could be job status, it could be financially, and we sort of have like this self-image of ourselves. And then we compare that image that we have of ourselves to other people. Say you met a stunning, beautiful woman, an amazing job, lots of money, fancy bags, fancy car, everything. You may suddenly think, she's better than me. She looks a lot prettier than me. She probably gets a lot more attention to me. And we can kind of sink into a sort of quiet shell because we've suddenly compared their outer image to the image we have of ourselves. Here's the thing, it can actually work the other way. Now, say you saw somebody and your mind said, I'm actually a bit prettier than that person, or I've actually got a better job than that person, or I've actually done a lot more than that person. You actually can work the other way, where you start thinking you're slightly superior to that person. And judging on whether you think you are less than or more than somebody else will actually affect how you act towards them. So it's just worth questioning your kind of judgment. You might be thinking, well, hang on a minute. Well, if somebody has got a better job than me, and if somebody has got more money than me, then they are better than me, aren't they? But hang on a minute. This is your mind actually making those judgments. Because really, what is good and what is bad? What is better, what is worse? Let me put it like this. Say somebody had absolutely everything that you wanted, okay? Or everything that you just thought was the ultimate. They must be just so happy because they have everything. They're so lucky. But actually, they weren't happy at all. They were actually really unfulfilled and really lonely. And then you had somebody else that didn't have much, didn't have a lot at all, but was so at peace and calm and happy with life. Then what then do your judgments say? What I'm trying to do is to get your mind to start thinking past those limitations that you view as good or bad or higher and lower, okay? Because like I said, if somebody has everything but isn't happy, and then you have somebody that has less and is so happy, then what are you going to judge yourself on? What are you judging there? What is good? You're making yourself think there. Those examples are just ways to expand our mind and think, actually, that's a very good point. what do I base my judgments on? And you know what? It will be so different for different people depending on what sort of things can trigger you. So, for example, some people might have it with jobs. If somebody has never really felt that they've gone very far in their career, they may feel really inferior or may feel, not as good as people that have thrived in their career. You may get it with looks. Somebody that doesn't feel that they're very pretty or very fit, very whatever, they're not happy with their physical body, they may compare themselves to, people that they see as really beautiful. And then the other thing is education. Perhaps you didn't feel like you got the best education that you could, and yet other people, they've got degrees, they've got amazing A-level results, all these things, and so that you feel less than. So I think I think different areas can stick out more for different people. So yeah, where are we going with this? Basically, your outer shell and your experiences don't define you. And actually, if we go back to that life energy, that soul, that connectedness, you remember that everyone else around you is just the same. We are all just souls and consciousness and life living a different sort of human experience. The ego and the mind's thinking that creates division and creates limitations. As soon as you stop the comparing of the external things and you just remember that person, see through their form, see through their body and just think there is a life in there. There is a soul in there that you can connect to. And that is one of the most powerful things to remember, because we all can connect on that level, but we have to be in touch with that. And one way to become more in touch with that is to try and find that presence, that stillness. Let's just do like a little experiment for a minute. So if you think of your hand, okay, and you can close your eyes, just hold your hand out and just feel your hand. Now, you may feel a bit silly doing this, but honestly, just feel your hand. How do you know your hand is there? Because you're not looking at it, but you can feel, and it's like the energy within your hand. And it may only be subtle, but you can feel it. And if for a moment you don't feel anything, try to just switch off your mind, because quite often we're not feeling it is because your mind might be going, oh, what am I doing? This is ridiculous. Yes, my hand's there. I know my hand's there. I just saw my hand a minute ago. And it's all these thoughts that are actually stopping you from feeling. So if you just quit the thoughts, may sound silly for a moment, but you can honestly feel this if you really tune into it. So just feel the energy within your hands. That is just the beginning of feeling your life energy, the energy that is more than just your body, your physical form. So here's a test for you. When you next meet somebody new, and as soon as you meet that person, you are judging them. I am judging them. We are judging, because as humans, it's the mind and it just ticks over. Now, if you can be aware of this and you just keep your awareness that you could be judging, and you just look through that, try and dismiss your judgments. Remember that person has a soul in there. They have a life. They have a story. They have trauma. They have bad experiences. They have good experiences. They have stories to share. There is so much more to them than their physical appearance and the things they've done in their life. And the things they've done in life can be part of their story. But what I mean is there is the difference between the judgment of what they've done and the comparing of what they've done to actually expression and connecting and sharing each other's stories. So yeah, that is basically what I have to say. It is quite an in-depth thing. Also, Eckhart Tolle, he has written the book The Power of Now, and it is honestly one of the best books I have ever read, because he speaks about how we can get so stuck in our mind and our thought patterns, and we derive a sense of self from those thought patterns. But actually, we are so much more than the mind. We are life, we are consciousness, and everything around us is life and consciousness. And when we can connect on that level, it's so much bigger and loving and expansive, and we stop comparing ourselves, and we stop feeling less than this person but more than that person, and judging this person, judging that person. And you know, it's a very it's a very small way of looking at things. And like I said, I'm learning so much about this myself, and I believe I'm still on that journey of not comparing myself to others. So yeah, that's what I've learned so far. I think it's incredibly valuable, and just wanted to say again, this takes practice. You know, when you're stuck in thought patterns for so long, it can actually be very hard to break free from them, and that is another thing that The Power of Now speaks about. So yeah, I really advise you to read this book. It is incredible. He also has some YouTube videos as well, so you know, if you prefer watching videos over reading, then you could do that. But yeah, I hope this has helped some people. I'd love to actually hear any stories or anything that people have experienced based on this. So feel free to comment below, or reach out on my Instagram as well. I respond to everyone, and I'd really love to hear how people have got on with this and their stories. So thank you so much for watching. Again, any support, liking and subscribing to this video would be much appreciated. Okay, take care, bye bye.